It's the 49ers Cutback.
It's 49ers Cutback Podcast time. We have a pretty controversial subject today.
We do?
Yes, we do. Of course, why do the 49ers have to bring back Weston Richburg?
Because he's good.
Yeah.
That's my main reason for why they need to bring him back. I know he was injured last year and he was injured a few games in 2019, but the difference with him in the lineup versus him out of the lineup is huge when you watch their offensive line in the pass game and the run game, especially the pass game, honestly. Him getting them in the right positions, making the right calls, recognizing blitzes, who to pick up, all that good stuff that a center is responsible for. For you people that are PFF grade nuts, I know they didn't give him that good of a grade in 2019, but if you see anything where an NFL executive talks about Weston Richburg, they all have him as a top 10 center, if not a top 5 center in the league. Plus, if the 49ers were to cut him, they would only save $3 million while paying him $8 million. So it doesn't really make much financial sense either to cut him. And I think if he's healthy, if all signs are pointing to him being fully healthy for camp, there's no way you let this guy go. He is a Pro Bowl player when healthy. We saw what happened when Jason Verrett got a whole year to heal from his injuries, how he came back. Weston Richburg is a 2-time Pro Bowler, I believe, with the Giants, and he's a very good football player. And we saw how much the Lions suffered without him this year. And it'd be great to have him back at his spot at center and Brunskill back at his natural spot at guard. And then, guess what? If he gets hurt again, Brunskill has proven he's a solid to capable center.
That is correct. The big thing, too, about the PFF grades, 2019 it was a 62.5. 2018 was a 56.6. However, 2 sacks allowed. Mm-hmm. I can't figure out why his grade is so low. I don't know why you would sink a guy that low at that position when he's given up 2 sacks in a very run-heavy offense in which the run game was absolutely dominant while he was healthy and playing, mind you. So the PFF stuff, they got some formulas over there that us normal folk don't seem to understand, and I'm A-okay with that because eye test-wise, as Horst pointed out, he passes. He checks all the boxes that you need him to check. He's very, very, very good in this 49ers offense, especially when he's healthy. And the big thing that he stole it, took it right out of my mouth, right out of my brain. It's like we're on the same brainwave. You give the guy a full year to heal. He's only 30 years old. This isn't a guy who's coming into this is prime years for a football player. When you make it past your first 4 or 5 years, because the average NFL player has about 4 to 4.5 year career in the NFL. If you get out of that point and you're getting into your 30s, early 30s, that's your prime. That's when you've been in the league, you're seasoned, you've seen it. You've seen it all. You know what to expect. You know how to prepare. You know how to play at a high level. That's where we're at right now with Weston Richburg. He's coming into his peak. He's had a full year to recover. Didn't rush him back from injury early. I think he's primed for a big year in 2021.
Yeah, it's a guy that has Pro Bowl talent, like Horst said, and he's somebody that fits the scheme really well. You know what I mean? He really plays this outside zone scheme really well. He's able to get the 49ers in the right blocking assignments and really works good with the other guys. And I think that was very evident early on in 2019 especially. The offense and everything was clicking. The 49ers were playing at a high level. They were undefeated when he was on the roster. And I think that's what they really need. They need to add this guy. It's like you didn't have him for the entire 2020 season. It's like adding a Pro Bowler back to your team. He has those capabilities. I'm not sure you're going to be able to find someone on the open market that you're going to be able to pay, with the amount of money that you're going to save. $3 million is not a lot of money to save when you need to, improve the interior offensive line. But this guy could definitely do it. Like I always say, I value the player over the amount of money that you will save. If you save that $3 million, what are you going to do with this? Re-sign Ben Garland? Is that going to be your answer at center? I think Weston Richburg is a better player than Ben Garland. Ben Garland is a very adequate backup. But Richburg is the guy they need to bring back. They need to make sure that he comes back minus something crazy happening. This guy needs to be the starting center because the offense, it gets stabilized when he's in there. The way he plays, his technique, his skills, that's why he's good at pass blocking. He has a real good setup. and he's very physical with his hands right off the bat. He can move well. The screen game is so much better with him in it, and the outside zone, because he can get to the second level to the level that Mike McGlinchey does, which is fantastic. It's a whole different level of offensive lineman compared to the guys that were playing it this year. No slight on Daniel Brunskill for playing out of position, but this guy makes Coronis Grossi look like a high school player compared to these other guys. He's just on a whole nother level, the athleticism that he has. So the 49ers need to bring him back. This is almost mandatory. As an offensive line guy, I definitely see him as a priority. And if you can play him on that offensive line with Laken Tomlinson, bring back Trent Williams, and then move Daniel Brunskill to guard with the tackle position, Mike McGlinchey on the other side, you have a very formidable offensive line that can take the run game back to the levels of 2019 and build on that performance. There'll be a lot of stability, and they can move on. I think, like you said, a year of healthy Weston Richburg in the offseason, he will be ready. They held him out on purpose at the end of the year to make sure he's ready to go. He'll get a full offseason, and I think he'll be back and better than ever.
Yeah, for people who might be a casual fan or a person that never played football, might not understand how important he is to their offensive line, the loss of him to their offensive line was like the loss of Nick Bosa to their defensive line. It is that level of a loss. He's that good of a football player. So that's the type of return we're expecting to. What we think the effect is going to be of Bosa returning to the defensive line. If Richburg's healthy, that's the effect he could have on the offensive line. He's that good of a player. It's that big of a deal to get him back. So I'm all in on keeping him around. And I think the 49ers are too, because like you said, Kyle mentioned towards the end of the season that they were just going to get Richburg ready for next year, which obviously means they intend on keeping him around.
Yeah,
absolutely. So you heard it from us. We think the center is like another quarterback out there. He's that important to this team. Richburg is that important to the 49ers. What do you think? Do you agree with us? You think Richburg has to stay in San Francisco even at the money he's making? Or do you think we need to let him go and somehow use that $3 million to shore up the O-line in some way that we haven't thought of? Let us know in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. That way you're here for all this glorious content. You get to participate in all of it. You get to give us some good ideas and good feedback, and we get to throw it back at you and bounce ideas off each other. It's going to be a great time.
Also, let us know in the comments if you want us to prove this to you with film.
right.
Because we can, back, yeah. But let us know if you guys would be interested in seeing that.
Matter of fact, goal for all of you. If this video right here gets 40 likes, big 40, we will for sure do a part 2 with video. 40 likes, part 2, guaranteed with film, full breakdown analysis like we did with our key players for 2021. But that's up to you. Like, you got to do that goal. You got to hit that. And until next time, you stay safe.
And remember, the right way
is always the 49ers way.